Hi there, Jocelyn. So here is my answer about predestination and free will in as basic as I can make it. So the biggest confusion with the word predestination is a lot of people, most people, when they hear that word or read that word in the Bible, they think that that's God. Yeah, they think that that's God choosing who goes to heaven or hell. But the thing about predestination is it's not God's choice. God's choice was that he was going to make the world, and he was going to make life, and he was going to make, heaven and hell and the stars and people and animals and all that. He made the choice to make those things, and he made the choice to set it up in the way he set it up. But he gave us free will to choose him. And so God didn't so much predestine people to go to heaven or hell. He predestined people to choose for themselves whether they're going to heaven or hell. And he knows what the outcome is going to be for each individual human that's ever existed. But that does not mean he forced them or made them choose or chose for them that choice. Every human being who's ever existed still has the choice of whether to believe in him and follow him, or not. And that's where our free will comes in. And God knows the outcome of all things. God knows the outcome of every person's life, even this little girl's life right here. And so he knows what's going to happen. So that's where the term predestination comes from. It's not that he's made a choice for us or forced us into heaven or hell, but he has predestined each and every person to make that choice for themselves, and to suffer or deal with or enjoy the consequences of such. Now, the other thing to add on to there is a lot of people will hear that answer and they will say something along the lines of, well, why doesn't he do anything about it? If he knows the outcome of every individual person's life, why doesn't he intervene in order to stop people from going to hell? And here's the thing. He did. That's the whole point of the gospel in Jesus, is God knew ahead of time. Yes, ahead of time. It was predestined, but God knew ahead of time that there were going to be people that wouldn't choose him. She doesn't love theology talk that much, but he knew ahead of time that there were going to be people that he willingly created and wants to have a relationship with, but loves them enough to give them free will, and that they would use that free will to reject him. And that's why he sent Jesus. That's why we have the gospel. That's why we have salvation in the first place. And so he didn't just predestination people to, he didn't just predestine people to have a choice and make a choice. He predestined people to have a solution and to have salvation and to be able to spend eternity with him. And so that's what he predestined. He predestined the whole thing, the whole gospel, the whole creation, fall, redemption, restoration, all of that he predestined. So it's not that he predestined people to go to heaven or hell. He predestined everything, and told everybody the story of what he was doing, and gave them the choice to choose whether to believe it or not. So that's predestination. And then kind of the real world, I guess, personal story or example I would give to that is this little girl right here. Every illustration has its own flaws, so I always say that before I give an illustration. But this little girl right here, I do everything I can to make sure, hi baby, I do, as her dad, I do everything that I can to set up her life, to set up her world, to set up her future in a way that is best for her. I have a job to produce money and food and shelter for her, and to save money for the future for her to have, an education and all that kind of stuff. And I provide safety, with the fences and the the baby proofing and the food we choose for her to eat or not. And I do, as her loving father, I do everything I can to create a world and to create a life for her in which she will choose to love me and listen to me and have a relationship with me that goes on forever. But I cannot and will not make her choose me. That wouldn't be loving. It wouldn't be loving for me to say, you have to do everything I say. You have to live your life with me. You have to do your life the way I want you to. That's not what a loving father does. He sets up and facilitates and works for and towards a good, beneficial life for his children, but he doesn't force it on them. He doesn't make them do something. He gives them the choice to live their life the way they want to, but tries to show them the best way and the best possible outcome for their future in a loving relationship with him. That's my short, easy answer, simple answer to predestination. So hope that helps.